Hey everybody, this is Mr. O'Leary. I'm going to do a quick video to show you how you can get started being involved with the student newspaper. You're right now at the newspaper office, which of course you can get to through the, you can just, if you're already registered for the student newspaper, then it will be a link on your homepage. Otherwise, you can always go up to the campus map and just click on, you can either select the drop-down menu, newspaper office, or you can select it from the wing here, which I'm not sure where it shows up, but here it is right here. So you can switch over and you'll show up in this area. And then what you want to do is, as a starting point, is click on the editor's desk, okay? The editor's desk is where you can do lots of different things. And probably the thing that most people will start to do is to submit an article or create a proposal for an article. But I just want to show you what are some of the things that you can do on this page. You may not see all of these boxes. It depends on whether you have students, and it depends on whether you're a member of the staff of a specific newspaper as to whether you'll see students or staff papers, but you'll see some of these other things. Let's just start off with, I've already created a video for how to create an article or a feature. There is no audio in it. I'll probably re-record it, but if you're watching that, that's the way it is. But let me just show you how you can create a paper. Why would you want to create a paper? You might want to have a paper just for yourself or for your neighborhood or for your family, or you might want to have a paper for your homeschool group or your club or a specific group, or maybe you just want to have a paper that is a specific topic, and you can do that. So you click Create a Paper, and right here there are some instructions. I'm going to try to make these a little easier to follow, but there are some instructions here that show you how to do it, but the starting point is just create a title for your paper. So I'm going to call this My Awesome New Paper. I made one earlier like that, so I'm going to call it My Awesome New Paper. You see that you have an option, paper, issue, or category. Just focus on paper right now and click Submit. And then that will be added to your list of papers. And what it does is it gives you a default view. This is the default look and feel of the certain newspapers. But you're going to have complete control of what your paper looks like and what the articles in your paper look like and all that stuff. You're going to have some things that I put on every page, like this create your own paper, add an article, and potentially some information about things that are going on in the academy, but you'll have a lot of control. Because you created the paper, you can always, from the paper, click edit the paper and it will take you back to the page. And you notice now I have more options. So for instance, I can create a sub-headline, like this, let's say all about Legos, poetry, and Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, this is the thing you'll see. It'll show up underneath. And then you can do other things, like you can create a something that is like a background for your paper. Okay, so I'm going to create, I like my family crest, so I'm going to do my family crest here. But you can put a link in here and as an image for your paper. You can also do header color, header font, header text size, header color, and later on, if you're a CSS person, if you've done style sheets, you can create your own style tags for your paper. Okay, you can talk about if you want to display when your paper is going to come out or anything like that, you can. If you want to give a deadline to people who write for your paper, you can do that. But we'll just do this to start. So I'm going to create that just so you can see. And after I make changes to the paper, it takes me to the paper, so you can see it changes a little bit. It's, again, you can modify this look and feel. But I'm going to go back to my paper. The other thing I want to show you, and this is important because it's a little bit of a bug, every paper needs to have an issue in order to get started. And I have a little bit of a bug that I'm just going to show you how to deal with so you can get away with it. You're going to add an issue, right? Issue number 1. And then I'm going to want you to add issue number 2 because it gets kind of confused right now with issue number 1. So just add issue number 1 and issue number 2. And I'll show you why that's important here in a little bit. Oops. So I clicked add style tags. You can go in here and use style sheets. We'll deal with that in a little bit of a later lesson. Add issue. And we'll call this issue number 2. Okay? Okay, so then you have that. The other thing I want to see, and again, I had a little bit of a bug with this earlier, so I'm not entirely sure whether it's going to work. I'm going to show you can also create categories. Think of categories as like the pages or like the large pages of your paper. So right now, if I create a category and I said it was all about Legos. So let's say I'm going to have Legos as a category. I don't know if this is going to work or not. We'll soon see. Okay, your categories, if you add categories, they'll be saved, but it's supposed to show up here. So you have different categories so that somebody's then going to be able to sort of see all the articles that have been filed under that category. But I think there's a bug there, and I'll work it out. So if you want to create things, you can. And let's do another. Here, if you want, you can change. Let's just see if that works. So I'm going to make this gold, and I'm going to make the font Georgia. Now, I had a little bit of a bug earlier, but I'm sure it'll be worked out. So let's just see if that works. Actually, that's the header gold, so we'll call that gold. Let's see if that works. All right, good. So I changed it, and you can change these different things. And as I said, you have a lot of control if you are used to using style sheets. One of the things that my Young Programmers class does is create style sheets. And if you don't necessarily have to be an expert in creating style sheets, you can use other people's style sheets to transform your paper, okay? But let's just go in here. I'm going to stop this video because this is how to create your paper. And once you've created your paper, then you can go here, go back to your home page, and you'll see here that I have my awesome new paper. And I can then either add articles directly to my paper, or what you might want to do to start is to look for articles to add. So I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to do this as a separate video for how to do this, okay? So there's your process, and I'm going to stop this video so you can have, this is the video for how to create a paper.